everyone. This is Lara, and you are watching the Flourish Empowering Thoughts of the Day special edition, I guess, because I haven't been here for some time. I don't know if this is already running. This is like a new, everything's a bit new here. So I guess I will see if you come on. If you come on, say hi. If you're watching this later, say hi as well. I always answer messages. It's been some time that I have been live. I've really missed it. I've missed connecting with you dear people. And I thought that with everything going on, that maybe this would be a nice moment and that I could contribute to this moment by giving an empowering thought for a day, something that might help help you feel a little bit less stressed, help you manage a bit better the situation that we are in at this moment. Many of you are already isolated at home. You're not leaving home. My parents are, they're at home. Everything's kind of shut down where they live. They live close to Toronto. Over here, things aren't that. There are a few things that are working, stores and but schools are closed, gyms, restaurants, coffee shops, etc. And so things have been changing. My husband's working from home. My daughter's also home, and so our routines are kind of up in the air, right? And I wanted to talk to you today. I was thinking about talking in regards to reframing our situation. But I'm going to leave that for another day. I wanted to talk to you about something that I feel is really important to take care of when you're going through a crisis. Right? In this case, we're all going together through an important crisis, a pandemic, and it is our mental health. So many times well, it's not that we're always going through crises, but I'm sure that you probably have gone through a crisis before, and it's easy to forget about our mental health when we have gone through crises, and in this case as well. The last time I was really in a situation that was this impactful in my life was in 2010. There was an earthquake in Santiago. It was 8.8 on the Richter scale, and it was the scariest moment of my life. But apart from that, just everything stopped working. So it was the end of summer. Everything was just up in the air. There wasn't electricity for some time, and services, and then just to get back into routine took a long time. And it's easy when our routine is taken away from us that we fall into routines that might not be helpful, and we can also forget about really taking care of our mental health. I feel that instead of just being aware of how we should take care of our mental health, we should focus even more on that, right? And really be aware that we're taking care of ourselves during this time. So I wanted to give 3 tips, I guess, about what we can be doing, right? And what we shouldn't be doing. So I'll start off with what we shouldn't be doing, and then what we could do instead, right? So one of the things that is easy to get wrapped into is the news, right? The news of how many more infected people there are today. The news about what the government's doing. The news about toilet paper. There's no toilet paper in the supermarket. All of these things, and it's addictive. Right? It's really easy to be scrolling on our feed and just seeing what's happening and getting angry about it, and just getting so deep into there that we don't get out of it. And the problem with this is that it really stresses us out. It stresses us even if we're not in a imminent threat, right? In the situation we're in, there's a threat, an imminent threat. we feel all this pressure on ourselves. And so I would suggest getting off the news for a little while. I think we all have the information that we need at this moment, how to take care of ourselves, what to do to try to be as safe as possible. And so something that you can do instead of being on the news is, or being, up to date with the news, is reaching out to your friends, for example, reaching out to your support system, seeing how the people that you care about are doing, if you can help them, to support them just by talking, or if you can reach out to them so you can share how you're feeling. If you have someone that you trust, that you feel that is a good listener, that is there for you, I would suggest reaching out. Our support system, the people that we love, are it's fundamental for our life. And we, at this time, need to feel safe. And the way that we feel safe is by connecting with people that we know are there for us. So that's one thing I would suggest. Get off the news, start connecting with the people that you love. The second thing I would suggest is, so it's really easy to kind of just say, okay, my routine is up in the air. I have to be working from home, but I don't feel like it, or I don't have to do anything. I have the kids here. I'm just going to watch Netflix and eat chocolate for like 3 weeks, right? Or I'm going to listen to those true crime podcasts, and that's all. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so once again, we're in a moment where we're all really stressed, and if we're watching shows all day and listening to media that is stressing us more, right? Very similar to the news, right? If we're listening to things that are putting more pressure on our system, we are doing ourselves a disservice. So what can you do instead? What can you do during these 2, 3, or how many weeks there will be that we have to be at home? We can think of all those times when we say, oh no, I really have to clean, this inside. It's full of papers. But I don't have any time, right? I don't have time for that. I don't have time to clean the garden. I don't have time. We have all these projects that we always say we don't have time for. Well, we have time now, right? Think about your hobbies, maybe books that you haven't read, projects that you have left for later. If you have kids, maybe you can think of projects that you can do together. So my daughter's here. She's 5. She's turning 6 soon. We're thinking about little projects that we can do every day, and she's quite excited about it. We're going to do a few sewing projects. I made soap this weekend. So just all those things that we want to learn, for example, those things that we oh yeah, it's super interesting. I'd really like to know a little bit more about the history of who knows what, right? You have the time now, and so you can do that. And that will be much more fulfilling, much more calming exercise than watching the news or these really stressful shows on Netflix, or these podcasts or whatever. Think of something where you can create, where you can enter in a state that you're feeling occupied, you're feeling that you're really doing something. So that would be my second suggestion. And my third suggestion is, so our mental well-being has very much to do with our physical well-being. And if we decide during this period to not eat well, and we forget about our sleep, for example, and if we forget about our physical and exercising, we are losing out on instruments that will help us to be stronger, right, and healthier. And all of this is very related to our mental well-being. The lack of sleep, lack of exercise, eating foods that are not nutritious for you can easily take you to feeling not well in your body, and then just moving forward to not feeling well in your being, right? Not feeling a bit depressed, feeling a bit down, and that just can get worse and worse if you're not taking care of these three very important things. So I would suggest creating a routine for yourself. That means taking time to, waking up at the usual time that you do, going to sleep early, not staying late, watching television until who knows what time. Just maintain a routine where you are taking care of that aspect of yourself. So being worried about what you're eating, right? Eating healthy food, trying to eat as healthy as possible, because many of you are at home and have already bought supplies for these next few weeks. We're trying to make sure that you're eating, right? And eating as well as possible. And physical exercise is a bit difficult if you're not going out. You still can go out of your house, right? As long as you're not interacting with other people. But for those who can't, maybe it's an opportunity to find a routine, an exercise routine that you can do at home, right? That's always very useful, even after this crisis passes. So those three things. Think about these three suggestions as little tips to take care of your mental well-being while we're going through this crisis. In the meantime, I'm going to try to come on around the same time each day for the following 3 weeks, hopefully. There are a few days that I might not be able to, but I'll let you know. And I hope that you are staying safe. I hope that you are staying connected to your loved ones. And I wish you the very best. And if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please let me know, and we can talk about them during these days. Okay? So a big hug, heartfelt hug from me, and I wish you the very best for today. See you. Bye.